an absolute sucker for a UNESCO designation. And that's because you have gladly taken on an international responsibility for heritage protection, a determination to connect with your communities, and a commitment to education. It's something to be very proud of, and it's also where UNESCO's mandate comes to life. It's where those of us who spend our lives negotiating in the bunkers of the UNESCO building in Paris remember why we do that. And it's where we all contribute personally to building peace and the defences of peace in the minds of men and women. A mission that feels as relevant today as when UNESCO was founded in London in 1946. Less than 6 weeks ago, for example, we ensured the emergency World Heritage listing of the historic port city of Odessa in Ukraine to protect it from the dangers of repeated Russian shelling. The World Heritage community has been absolute in its condemnation of Russia and stalwart in its support to Ukraine. And I know how much that means to your counterparts in Ukraine at this most difficult of times. Thank you also to the people of Bath who just last week raised a further £65,000 at an event in the Abbey just over there, marking 1 year since Russia's illegal and unjustifiable invasion. World Heritage sites are a bit like children. You really aren't allowed to have favourites. But I have to say that any site that tells me that I can only experience its outstanding universal value by testing out its spars is onto a bit of a winner. And that's why I bring with me not only the congratulations and good wishes of my 6 colleagues in Paris, but also some very, very envious glances. Bavaria is very definitely already in our diaries for next year. On a more serious note, the great spa towns of Europe are a real example of best practice in the World Heritage space. Thank you for all the work that you put into making and keeping this the case. I believe absolutely in transnational World Heritage sites. For starters, they very literally put the world into World Heritage. But also, as we look forward to the next 50 years of the Convention, they can be one of the answers to the challenge of making World Heritage more representative and more accessible. And I and my colleagues in Paris want to make sure that we're telling your story in the Convention so that you can inspire and support tentative nominations around the globe with your example. World Heritage status is, of course, not just a prize, but a real responsibility. And so I want to say a huge thank you to the Council of Bath and North East Somerset for embracing these international commitments in what is here in Bath, of course, a double World Heritage site. It's truly gladdening to see how this status is such a source of civic pride. It's hard to find a business here in Bath that doesn't advertise that it's located in a UNESCO World Heritage city. And it's reassuring that the visitor spend associated with that leads to direct benefit for inhabitants, including lower rates. This virtuous circle needs constant care and investment, but it's very real. It's extraordinary that the pipe that brings the water into the bath then goes through into the Abbey to provide the heat for the Abbey. You talk, Councillor, about clean and green. There couldn't be anything more clean and green than that, and that comes from, I believe, this commitment to the World Heritage Site. All UNESCO designations are ultimately about communities, about people. And the great spa towns of Europe, I think more than most, with your outstanding universal value so closely connected to the town's therapeutic landscapes and layouts. So I'd like to finish with a huge thank you to everyone and congratulations, whether they're here tonight or just wishing that they were. I'd like to thank you and congratulate you for everything you do to keep this great designation protected, connected, and above all, so very vibrant. There is so much potential in this room tonight. It's really exciting to see where you're going to take it next. Thank you all very much.